Hello, my friend. I haven't seen you a little bit for a while, and what I'm doing is making of the F6D Mustang, which is actually I'm making a P51, but it has a different version of the Mustangs, and you cannot I can see that F6D, which has a camera on it. It's for reconnaissance mission, and now I'm making F6D, and actually I have finished to building of the cockpit already, and it has already installed, so you cannot see, but you can check the photo anyway. And today what I'm going to introduce is, as you can see, the Mustangs has a pure silver surface on it, which is I think not painted. I think it's a natural metal. So I am going to use some metal color, and now you can see, sorry for the messy tables. I have already started, so the table is quite messy, sorry for that. And there are some metal color, and normally I use this kind of metal color. I don't have so much, but as you can see, and I can't show, but I'm going to use some different type of metal color, and some color you cannot get it in your country, but maybe it might helpful for you if you can get it. And normally I use the number 8 silver Mr. color. It is very common. I can get it in my shop. I can get it in my town, and it has some different series of metallic color. This is SM01 super fine silver, and this is SM03 super iron. This is for SM06 chrome silver, and this is a different kind of metal color, but this is very useful. This is number 212 iron, and I have some others, but I cannot find because I don't use so much, but I have some others. And number 8 is, I think, very fine, but very weak for the enamel when you're washing, or put in some other treatment when you are weathering color. When you are weathering, it might be a little bit weak. I think the metal surface is a little bit melt. And this a little bit expensive. This one, I think this is the more expensive. This is, I think, 800 yen in Japan, so it's close to maybe $10. This is very expensive. And this one is a little bit cheaper than this one, but I think the quality of the metal surface is a little bit, I think, not shiny if I compare with this one. This one is very expensive but very shiny. And I cannot tell you which one is very good for metal expression, but I think if I using this one, when you are thinking of the weathering on it, you need to be coated with I think you need to coat with clear to protect from the other kind of like enamel acrylic, because it is very effective to express the metal surface, but when you're putting on the clear on it, I cannot see so much growth. It's a little bit not shine when you are putting the clear coat. But anyway, if I have to using this one, I should coat it with the clear to protect from when I'm going to weathering sun. It's definitely necessary for to protect. And in this red rubber, of course, it's not so much strong, but sometimes I have to coat it with the clear, to protect from the weathering. But if I don't do so much weathering on it, maybe it might not have to protect with clear. Especially this one is very shiny, and I think when you are keeping the shine surface, you shouldn't do the clear coat, but and you can use without clear coating when you are weathering on it. It's a little bit stronger than this one, so I think it depends on. And this one, this kind of I think basically it doesn't so much difference. But it might not. If I take a picture on it, you cannot see the difference. But this is very dark iron, very dark, and this is like it's very suitable for car model, because the I don't know how do I say, but it's not so like it doesn't seem to be like more natural metal. I think it is for painting colors, painting silvers, but still very useful when you are making a models, especially for aircraft. It's not sometimes like P-51, the wing is not natural metal, has a natural metal. It has painted with the silver lacquer on it, so it is not seems to very realistic silver aluminum surface. So in this case, I can use the super fine silver, which is like more car models, just painted in silver. Or maybe I can use this one, because if I use this one and if I coat it with a clear color, it more like just I painted in silver. It looks like. But if I paint it in the main body fuselage, it has a very natural bare metal, because it hasn't painted. It's just naturally aluminum surface on it. So in this case, I should paint it more like real metal. So in this case I use the SM06 chrome silver. This is very shiny and this is very bright, and this is very a little bit, if I compare with others, very strong from the enamel weathering. So I just prefer to use this one. And I have some exam, but I haven't used all the colors. So this is chrome silver. It's very shiny and very effective. It looks like more, natural metal. And this one, very shiny. This is very expensive but very effective, and a little bit very strong from the enamel. When I paint it with the panel line into the, it's very strong. Not melt down so much. If I really care about the weathering, I prefer to use this enamel. If I compare with this black and this black, basically it looks like the same, but this one is a little bit not strong, contain on it, very soft for silver painting. So I might choose to use this one when I weathering on the aircraft, when I paint it in silver. This one is also can use, but you have to wipe out with this thinner. This one is very strong, and so when I use this one, and after that washed with this thinner, the metal surface will be melt down. So a little bit danger for that, I think. So maybe you can use the different materials, especially when you are painting with a silver metal color. You should care about when you are weathering, because the metal color is very weak from the other materials, so material color. So, and whatever, when you are painting the metal color, I should recommend to pre-coat. I mean, basic color should be black, or if you want to make some different taste of the silver shine, or silver, a little bit different. I cannot maybe if I take a picture on it, you cannot see the difference, I think, maybe. But you can paint as white for basic color. If I paint the white color, shining is not different, but the very bright metal, it might see like very bright if I compare with the black surface, basic color. But usually I use the black, gloss black, not the flat black. It's very important for basic painting. I mean, when you are painting in the silver metal color, the surface should be very gloss. If I using a very flat surface and paint it, you cannot see so much gloss on it, and it's a very it depends on the person's I think sense. I mean, some people it's okay to see that it's enough shiny, or But some people say it's not enough shine. I need more, like very shine, and something like mirror. And maybe it has some techniques, very careful to brew the metal colors. But usually I use the gloss black first, and then using the metal colors. And what I'm going to say is I haven't tested so many times a lot, so I cannot tell you right now because I haven't painted yet, but I think I can report after I paint, and I can tell you more exactly what I did. But in this term I haven't prepared to painting, so tonight I just introduced what I'm going to use, some colors. And this there are some other painting colors on the world, and some items I cannot get it, but you can get it. So it depends on the country and depends on the locations. And in my situation, I cannot get very specific color, which is like made in British, you can use in Europe. Sometimes I cannot get it. I can get in the internet, but it has a cost. So I just used what I can buy it in my town as much as I can. So in my opinion, I think if you are not so much purpose, like gloss silver, very natural silver, if you're not, I think you can get it, whatever you want. I think just I'm not maniac in that way anyway. I'm not, I don't want to make more, like pure natural gloss color like Miller, which I said, like this one. This kind of surface is very hard to, if I have a techniques on it, and if I have some other very special paint color, it might be expressed like this shiny, surface, but it's nearly impossible when I'm using this kind of painting material. So sometimes I should give up in that way. Not, I don't want, I shouldn't want to be more, bright shine. It has, because it has more experience, I think, it has more very expensive colors. And once I learned is, when you are brewing airbrush, when you are brewing the metal color, I have to regulate the air pressures. I have to very strict regulation of the theme of the painting colors. You are very careful to put on the thinner and very carefully brew it. Very low pressures, and if this is the part, you need to have a little bit distance on it, and not brew too much, and very slowly, very very thin, you have to paint it. So anyway, it has you need to have techniques on it. very, you have to be practice on it. So, and before painting, the surface should be gloss surface. So even you are painting in gloss black, you need to wipe, like, or polished to become gloss surface on the model plane. So if I thinking of that, it seems to be very difficult techniques on it. But normally I just painting very I don't have so much techniques on it, so I just using the very common way, and I think it's enough. Anyway, it's very shiny and very good growth. And this one, I forgot to say this. This is a very different color. When you are painting this one, and after dry, you can wipe like this on a part, and it has a glow, and it makes more shiny and very metallic surface. But if I painted this one, I cannot get a very bright surface. This one. When I using this one, is a little bit darker than this one. So when I want to paint the fuselage, especially some part, you can see the different tone, different not different color, but some part is very shine, some part is very a little bit dark, some part is maybe they use the same materials, but side by side, panel by panel, you can see the difference a little bit different scene. So in that case, when I using the same color, whole fuselage painted with the same expression. So this maybe this part, okay, I use the chrome silver, and some part I can use a silver. You maybe you can mix with the a little bit blue, clear blue or clear gray, or some you can put it on some different clear. And if I using the same color, doing with the different clear, it makes different scenes. In this kind of expression, it's very hard to explain, because once I paint it, some case you cannot see that on the picture or video on it. So in this time, I don't use the common way when I paint it in a metal color. So when I make like a jet which has a gray, or like